9 things I like the most about the Sony A7R Mark V. Let's go. Number 1, the autofocus. I feel crazy saying the autofocus is, they're saying it's 60% better for eye autofocus, and just in general usage, it's faster, more responsive. The entire camera's faster, and the autofocus just seems to predict exactly what you want it to do pretty much all of the time. Whatever data set they put in here, it's absolutely amazing, and it understands people at all angles, which is very, very helpful for anyone that photographs human beings. The image quality is the best that Sony's ever done. I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe on a screen like this, you're not gonna see too much of a difference, but there really has been a very nice improvement in image quality. Number 3, 2 wheels up top here. I love this. This is my favorite ergonomic feature. I'm primarily a wedding photographer and have been for about 18 years now. And to have ISO on one wheel, shutter speed on another, and f-stop on the front, and to not have to go to this D-pad spin wheel, it just makes my life so much easier. I have instant access to everything that I need on a wedding day, and it allows the camera to get out of the way, and then I'm able to just create whatever vision that I create. I feel like I'm not really that fancy of an artist. It basically just makes my life easier, and with the autofocus and everything just acting faster, you really, like, whatever you want the camera to do, it's made photography really quite easy, honestly. Next up, a reminder, Black Friday is the last time that you can sign up for the members website. So if you want to get on the members website at the monthly rate, it disappears on Black Friday, and then you have to sign up for annual. So go check that out. It's all my courses, all my presets. You get everything that I've ever created, including Book More Weddings 2023, which will be coming out soon. And it's my flagship course every year. And this year is going to be even more incredible than last year. And I feel like all previous editions of the Book More Weddings series have helped people book literally millions of dollars in work in their wedding photography businesses. So check that out and get over to the members website and sign up before Black Friday if you want to get in on that monthly rate. Next thing I like about this camera, when you go to APS-C mode, so I've set C2 up here, bump into APS-C mode. When you go into APS-C, you're at 26 megapixels, which is great because I would be fine to shoot an entire wedding day or portrait session or commercial shoot at 26 megapixels. And to know that when I get to the end of my zoom ring, I'm like, oh, I'm at 70, I need to get a little bit closer. To bump into APS-C, I'm essentially just cropping in my camera rather than doing it in Photoshop or Lightroom later. And I'm able to get a 26 megapixel file from that. I'm just very, very happy with that overall. Or if you want to do something like shoot that 26 megapixels all day, say you're a wedding photographer, you want to switch to that because you just want to save yourself a little bit of storage. You know, your couples aren't going to be blowing up, I don't know, like 80-foot prints for close viewing. I don't even know what 60 megapixels gets to, but you don't need 60 megapixels all day and you want to go down to 26, you can do that with lossless compression in this camera as well. Maybe that's another thing that I like about this camera. Next up, the active stabilization. I love the active stabilization in this. Maybe this is a controversial point. The IBIS is great. It's definitely been updated. I personally go one above that in video and I use the active stabilization. It gives you a little bit of a crop, but in my opinion, it saves you a lot of time either loading into catalyst browse or warp stabilizing. Images that you could have done a little bit better with in camera, and you could have let the camera and the battery do all the work rather than you in post-production. So I use active stabilization pretty much all of the time, and I will actually select lenses based on that. So I like to shoot at 24 millimeters, but I have this 20 millimeter lens because I know every time that I'm gonna be shooting this in video mode, I'm going to be in active stabilization. So I'm gonna crop in a little bit on it. So it's gonna be a little bit closer to a 24 with that active stabilization enabled. Next thing I love about this camera, the flip screen. So one, you get a flip screen, that's great. It allows me to do more, at least like self-filming, and I feel like as a video creator, it's very nice to have a flip screen. I feel like as a photographer, for doing candid photography, I'm on my flip screen. I think this started in 2020 when we had to wear a mask and I was always fogging up my viewfinder. And I have discovered that I prefer shooting with the LCD. I'm a little bit better at getting candids and I don't have to be staring at people and staring at them through the lens, and I can just kind of get these quick shots, especially when using a longer focal length. And I feel like it really has improved my wedding coverage. So that's why I like the flip screen. The flip screen also tilts, as you'd see in the A1, which is great. And also the quality of it and the EVF are incredible. Coming from the A7 IV, it was fine. The A7 III screen is not good. I can't shoot video on it. I ruin every video I try to shoot on there. This screen, you can see what you're doing. You can see what you're doing in all lighting conditions. and everything just looks really, really good. One of the things I actually kind of enjoyed when you shoot the A7 IV, which is what we're recording this on, you're like, yeah, those are pretty good photos. And you get home and you're like, wow, these are really good photos. Here you actually get the wow factor from the screen rather than getting the wow factor later. So I don't know when you want that wow factor, but here's probably better. You get S-Cinetone, which is what I'm recording this on. I've added my LUT to it a little bit, but the Cinetone profile, I feel like it's very lovely, very nice to use all the time. Next up, with the AI chip came a few other advancements. It understands scenes in a much better way now, which means the auto white balance has significantly, in my opinion, improved. I was someone that would always set my camera to shade white balance immediately. I wouldn't let the camera make that decision. I knew that my Sony camera was not going to be choosing the correct white balance for me. With auto white balance now in the Sony A7R V, it's very nice. It chooses very pleasing white balances. It understands that it's a person in the scene and there's a color cast on them. I'm going to do the right thing for their skin tone within this scene. The auto exposure tools have also seen an upgrade based on this as well. So if you're someone that shoots an aperture priority a lot of the time, you're going to see some significant advances in just the camera getting it a lot closer to what you actually want it to be in post. And this brings me to my last point, and I think maybe the most important point of all of the points for this camera is that nothing feels intentionally left out, that nothing's been just like, we're gonna do everything, but we're gonna take away this one feature so you can't use it for great video commercial production as well as wedding photography. You gotta buy 2 cameras for that. They didn't do that. They put everything that I personally need. I made a video about this, that this is the perfect camera for me. They put everything that I need into this camera. They didn't take the hammer to it and knock something out that I absolutely required and then I had to spend more money to buy like a Sony A1 or something. And for that, I am honestly very, very grateful. I appreciate Sony as a company for doing that, to be quite honest. There are obviously a lot more things to love, but those are the things that for my workflow and for, I guess, me conveying to you the reasons that I've selected this camera and that I'll be using this camera over my A7 IV. Hopefully that brought some clarity to that. Again, Black Friday, last day you can sign up for the monthly membership rate. After that, it goes up to annual. You have to sign up for the annual. Still, you get the same stuff, but you just got to sign up for a longer commitment. So sign up before Black Friday to get in on the monthly rate. And I will see you again a few times more about this camera. So subscribe, like this video if you like this video, and I'll see you again next time.